Hello everyone, welcome to Unacademy. It's me, Rushikesh Inamdar, and in today's lecture, we'll continue with the emergency provisions. Yes, right friends. So do not forget to enroll yourself for upcoming Unacademy Combat scheduled on 20th February, that is upcoming Monday in the morning 11 o'clock. Yes, so enroll today. So these are the special classes scheduled on Unacademy app. Yes, you can check the schedule. You can follow me on Unacademy as well. Unacademy app. Yes, friends. So in today's lecture, we'll cover emergency provisions. So welcome you all on Let's Crack UPSC CSE English in our Inspire Crash Course targeted for the Prelims 2021. Yes, on Unacademy platform, you will get unlimited access for live and recorded classes, daily live lectures, where you can ask doubts to our educators. During the lecture, we are providing structured courses as per the requirement of examination, and you will get unlimited mock test to evaluate yourself. Yes, friends, we 100 plus top educators will guide you throughout the preparation. So, download Unacademy Learning app today and start your preparation. Yes, it's me, Rushikesh Inamdar, having experienced more than 8 years in the field of guiding UPSC aspirants. You can follow me on Unacademy and you can join our Telegram group using this link. Yes, we have these 15,000 plus courses available on our platform. So you can choose as per your choice, like polity, governance and international relations, history, Indian economy, geography, environment and ecology, and many more. Yes, we have plus and iconic subscription for our paid classes where you will get 10% discount using referral code RBI Live. Yes, so this 10% discount is applicable in the February month only. So hurry up and enroll yourself with plus or iconic subscription, whichever subscription is suitable for you, right? And I'll suggest those aspirants doing their graduation, pursuing their graduation, they can opt for iconic subscription. And those aspirants looking for or they are planning to appear for upcoming mains prelims in the June, they can go with the plus subscription. These are our new batches started recently, like Mission Success UPSC CSE 2021 targeted for prelims. Then we have Mission Victory UPSC CSE General Studies 2022, and along with this we have 1 year, 2 years and NCERT batches for UPSC CSE prelims. Yes, these are the combo options available. Yes, for plus and iconic subscriptions. Again, you can use code RBI Life to get 10% discount. So you have option for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years subscription option as per your choice. So friends, we'll start today's lecture, and here once again reminder for our upcoming special classes or my special classes on Unacademy app? Yes. So friends, we'll see the emergency provisions with continuing with last lecture. Now we'll see Article 355. Yes. So Article 355 imposes a duty on the center to ensure that the government of every state is carried on in accordance with the provisions of the constitution. So this article talked about center's duty to ensure the government of every state is carried out in accordance with the provisions of the constitution, and the state's government are following these provisions or not. So it's a duty of a center to ensure function of the central state government under Article 355. Now, Article 356 deals with the or describe it is duty in the performance of which the center takes over the government of a state. Under this article, in case of failure of constitutional machinery in state. So Article 356 talked about power of center. So the central government can take over, or the central government can impose restrictions on state government under the Article 356, where the state government is failed to do or perform their functions as per the constitution. So which is known as constitutional failure of constitutional machinery. So basically this Article 356 is talked about or known as President's Rule, and it is also known as state emergency or constitutional emergency. Yes. Now, Article 356 of our Constitution. Again, Article 356 of our Constitution of India is based on Section 93 of the Government of India Act 1935. Yes, friends, we can say the historical footprints or underpinnings of Article 356 is based on Section 93 of the Government of India Act 1935. Yes, according to Article 356, President's rule can be imposed on any state of India on the grounds of the failure of the constitutional machinery. So there are two types, like if President receives a report from the state governor or otherwise is convinced or satisfied that the state's situation is such that the government cannot carry on the governance according to the provisions of the constitution. Yes, if president received a report from state governor, or if president observed that the state government cannot perform his duties or unable to perform functions as per the provisions of the constitution, then as per the article, president's rule can be imposed if any state fails to comply with all directions given by the union on matters it is empowered to. Yes, as per the Article 356, union or central government providing directions for the state government, and if state government is unable to follow these provisions as per the constitution, then president can order or he can impose restriction on the state. So if we'll simplify this, provisions like President's Rule is when the state government is suspended and the central government directly administers the state through the office of the governor, as governor is the agent of central government, right? So it is also called state emergency and constitutional emergency. Yes. Now we'll see the President's Rule in detail. Yes, friends. So, parliamentary approval is necessary for the imposition of President's Rule on any state, and the proclamation of President's Rule should be approved in both houses of the Parliament within 2 months of its issue. Yes. Now, parliamentary approval is necessary for the imposition of President's Rule on any state, and the proclamation of President's Rule should be approved in both houses of the Parliament within 2 months of its issue. So the approval is through a simple majority. So President can, yes. So ultimately the parliamentary approval is necessary in this imposition, right? So the rule is initially for a period of 6 months, and later it can be extended for a period of 3 years with parliamentary approval after every 6 months. Yes. Now, the 44th Amendment of the Constitution, yes, 44th Amendment to the Constitution brought in some constraint on the imposition of President's Rule beyond a period of 1 year. So it says President Rule cannot be extended beyond 1 year unless there is a national emergency in India. Second, the Election Commission of India certifies that it is necessary to continue the President's Rule in the state because of difficulties in conducting assembly elections to the state. So, 44th Constitutional Amendment Act 1978 is provided few directions in this regard, that is, the some constraints on the imposition of President Rule beyond a period of 1 year. Yes, so in case of there is a national emergency or the Election Commission of India certifies that it is necessary to continue the President's Rule in the state because of difficulties in conducting assembly elections to the state, which means there may be concern regarding law and order or any other issues, or the situation is not favorable to conduct an election. So, on the report from the Election Commission, President can continue this emergency. Yes. Now, the circumstances. Yes, we'll see few circumstances where the President Rule has been imposed. Now, the state legislature is not able to elect a leader as the Prime Minister for a time prescribed by the state's governor. Yes. So, for example, after the election, governor will call the leader of a party who secured majority or the party who secured major votes in the election, governor called the leader of that party to form government in the state. Now, government or governor will provide them a prescribed time limit. Within that time limit, the leader of that majority party should form the government. And in case of or due to some reasons they not able to elect leader as the chief minister for given time, then governor can send recommendation to the president for this or for the president's rule. After that, breakdown of a coalition in the state government, and that leads to the CM having minority support in the legislature and the chief minister is unable to prove his majority within the time prescribed by the governor. Yes, this is the second scenario where president rule is imposed in the state. Now, yes, Ram Kumar, we are studying today emergency provisions. Right. Now next, no confidence vote in the legislative assembly leading to a loss of majority. In case of a no confidence vote in legislative assembly leading to a loss of majority, then the imposition of president rule in the particular or concerned state. Now, after that, postponement of elections owing to unavoidable reasons such as a natural disaster, epidemic or war. And yes, so article 365 also describes few circumstances related with the imposition or in such scenarios where president rule has been imposed in the state. Now we'll see consequences of president's rule. Yes, so the governor carries on with the administration of the state on behalf of the president. So he or she takes the help of other states chief secretary and other advisors or administrators whom he or she can appoint. Yes, the governor carries on with the administration of the state on behalf of the president. Yes, so the governor takes the help of state's chief secretary and other advisors whom he or she can appoint to conduct the administrative work. Right, then the president has the power to declare that the state legislature's powers would be exercised by the parliament. Then the state legislative assembly should be either suspended or dissolved by the president. Yes, the state legislative assembly would be either suspended or dissolved by the president. And when the parliament is not in session, the president can promulgate ordinances with respect to the state's administration. Yes, these are the consequences related with the president's rule. Now, revocation of president's rule. Yes, president's rule can be revoked anytime after such a proclamation has been made by a subsequent proclamation by the president, and a proclamation of revocation does not require approval by the parliament. Yes. So, revocation of president's rule. So, president's rule can be revoked anytime after such a proclamation has been made by a subsequent proclamation by the president where he mentioned the revocation of the president rule. So, a proclamation of a revocation does not require approval by the Parliament. Yes. Now, this occurs when the leader of political party produces letters indicating majority support for him in the assembly and stakes him claim to form the state government. Yes. Now, we'll see comparison between national emergency and president's rule, as we have covered national emergency in the last lecture. Now we'll see the comparison between national emergency and president's rule. Yes. So national emergency described under Article 352 and President's rule described under Article 356. Yes. So national emergency can be proclaimed only when the security of India or a part of it is threatened by war, external aggression, or armed rebellion. Yes. And if we are talking about president's rule, can be proclaimed when the government of a state cannot be carried on in accordance with the provisions of the constitution due to reasons which may not have any connection with war or external aggression or armed rebellion. So these are the different type of emergencies mentioned under Article 352 and 356. So these are the basic grounds to impose national emergency, and these are the reasons to impose president's rule in the state. Now, during its operation means during operation of the national emergency, the state executive and legislature continue to function and exercise the powers assigned to them under the constitution. So its effect is that the center gets concurrent powers of administration and legislation in the state. Right. Now, in case of president's rule, the state executive is dismissed and the state legislature is either suspended or dissolved. So the president administers the state through the governor, and the parliament makes laws for the state. So in brief, the executive and legislative powers of the state are assumed by the center in president's rule. Now, in national emergency, the parliament can make laws on the subjects enumerated in the state list only by itself. That is, it cannot delegate the same to any other body or authority. And in the president rule, the parliament can delegate the power to make laws for the state to the president or to any authority specified by him. So far, the practice has been the president to make laws for the state in consultation with the members of parliament from that state. Such laws are known as the President's Act. Yes. So, in President rules, the parliament can delegate the power to make laws to the state, to the president or any other authority specified by parliament or specified by president. Now, the practice has been for president to make laws for the state in consultation with the members of parliament from that state, and these laws are known as President's Acts. Yes, this is applicable to the states during the president's rule. Now, national emergency, there is no maximum period prescribed for its operation, and it can be continued indefinitely with the approval of the parliament for every 6 months. So national emergency can be continued indefinitely indefinitely. That is for there is no any restrictions or mention the years for particular duration, but it needs to take approval from the parliament for every 6 months. And if we are talking about president's rule, so there is a maximum period prescribed for its operation, that is 3 years. So thereafter it must come to an end and the normal constitutional machinery must be restored in the state, like elections and any other consent provisions under the constitution. Now, national emergency, in which the relationship of the center with all the states undergoes a modification. Yes, as we know, the federal system will convert it into unitary. And the president's rule, under this emergency, the relationship of only the state under emergency with the center undergoes a modification. Which means in national emergency, all states, the relationship of center with the all states undergoes a modification. Yes, into a unitary type. And in the precedent rules, for example, the precedent rule is imposed. There are these states A, B, C, D, and many more. So, if precedent rule is imposed in state B, then the relationship of or relationship between center and state undergoes a modification with only state B, not any other states. Okay, so this is the difference between national emergency and president's rule in this clause. Now, the comparison basically. Now, after that, in national emergency, every resolution of parliament approving its proclamation or its continuance must be passed by a special majority. Yes. And in President's rule, every resolution of Parliament approving its proclamation or its continuance can be passed only by a simple majority. Yes. Now, in national emergency, or national emergency affects the fundamental rights of the citizens, where President's rule has no effect on fundamental rights of the citizen. Yes, there is only difference in President's rule. All execution of powers by the center instead of state. In national emergency, Lok Sabha can pass a resolution for its revocation where there is no such a provision, which means the president rule can be revoked by the president only on his own. Yes, means there is no need of resolution passed by the parliament in the revocation of president's rule. Now, after that, after the comparison between national emergency and president's rule, we'll see improper use of Article 356. Yes. Now, Article 356 gave the central government wide powers to stamp its authority on the state governments, although it was meant only as means to preserve the integrity and unity of the country. It had been used blankly to outstate governments who were ruled by political opponents of the center. Yes, so it was used for the first time in 1951 in Punjab. Between 1966 and 1977, Indira Gandhi's government used it about 39 times against various states. Yes, so Article 356 gave the central government wide power to stamp its authority on the state governments. So, although it was meant only as means to preserve the integrity and unity of the country, but in some cases in history we have observed improper use of Article 356. So, this or use of 356 article or Article 356 was used first time in 1951 in Punjab. Yes, and after that between 1966 to 1977 it used about 39 times against various states by Indira Gandhi's government. Now, in the SR Bommai case 1994, the Supreme Court of India put forth strict guidelines for the imposition of Article 356. Yes, like the proclamation of President's rule is subject to judicial review on grounds of malafide intention. Yes. Then the imposition of Article 356 should be justified by the center. The court has the power to revive the suspended or dissolved state government if the grounds for the imposition is found to be valid or unconstitutional. Yes. So, the state assembly cannot be resolved before parliamentary approval for the imposition of Article 356, and the president can only suspend the assembly. Right. So, the state assembly cannot be dissolved before parliamentary approval for the imposition of Article 356, and the president can only suspend the assembly. Now, serious allegations of corruption against the state ministry and financial instability are not grounds for the imposition of Article 356. Yes, Supreme Court mentioned that the serious allegations of corruption against the state ministry and financial instability are not grounds for the imposition of Article 356. Yes. Now, any action by the state government that leads to the security of secularism cannot be grounds for the use of Article 356. Yes. So, these are the observations or directions given by the Supreme Court. Like Article 356 cannot be used to sort out any intra-party issues in the ruling party. Yes, this is also reason or one of the reason to misuse of Article 356. If the ministry of the state resigns or is dismissed or lost the majority, then the government cannot advise the president to impose this article until enough steps are taken by the governor for the formation of an alternative government. Yes. So, the power under Article 356 is to be used only in case of exigencies. It is an exceptional power. Yes. So, the power under Article 356 is to be used only in case of exigencies, right? Now, there have also been subsequent judgments of the Supreme Court that have limited the room for the misuse of this article. Yes. Now, the Sarkaria Commission report 1983 recommended that Article 356 should be used very sparingly and only as a last resort or option. Yes. Now, the President's proclamation of President's rule should include reasons as to why he thinks the state cannot run normally. Then, whenever possible, the center should give the state government a warning before imposing Article 356. The article should not be used for settling political scores. The Commission recommended the amendment of the article in order to the President to be authorized to dissolve the state legislature only after getting parliamentary approval. Yes, after that, the observations by Panchi Commission. So, Panchi Commission recommended that the center should try to bring only a specific troubled area under its jurisdiction, and that to for a brief period, not more than 3 months. Yes. Now, the Commission recommended that suitable amendments should be made to incorporate the guidelines established by Supreme Court in Bombay case. Yes, the Panchi Commission recommended that suitable amendments should be made to incorporate the guidelines established by Supreme Court in Bombay case. The Commission recommended the provision of a localized emergency which implies that the center can tackle issues at town, district, local level without dissolving state legislative assembly, while the same time performing the duty of the union to protest states as per Article 355. Yes, so this Sarkaria Commission and Panchi Commission, which was studied center-state relations, and they also mentioned or recommended few provisions to avoid or refrain the government to use for the misuse of Article 356. Yes. So this is the improper use of Article 356. These are the few examples and the provisions to avoid misuse of this article. Now, after the President's rule, we'll see financial emergency. Yes. So, first of all, we'll see grounds of declaration. Like Article 360 empowers the President to proclaim a financial emergency if he is satisfied that the situation has arisen due to which the financial stability or credit of India or any part of its territory is threatened. Yes, this Article 360 talked about the financial stability credit of India or any part of its territory is threatened due to this financial crisis, then President can impose financial emergency. Then parliamentary approval and duration for the financial emergency. So a proclamation declaring financial emergency must be approved by the both houses of the parliament within 2 months from the date of issue. Yes. Now, however, is the proclamation of financial emergency is issued at the time when the Lok Sabha has been dissolved or the dissolution of the Lok Sabha takes place during the period of 2 months without approving the proclamation, then the proclamation survives until 30 days from the first sitting of the Lok Sabha after its reconstitution, and provided the Rajya Sabha has in meantime approved it. Yes, so once approved by the both houses of parliament, the financial emergency continues indefinitely till it is revoked. Yes. Right. So here just understand, the proclamation of financial emergency is issued at a time when Lok Sabha has dissolved or the dissolution of the Lok Sabha takes place during the period of these 2 months after the proclamation of financial emergency. Then this, or without approving the proclamation, then this proclamation survives until 30 days from the first sitting of the Lok Sabha after its reconstitution, and provided the Rajya Sabha has the meantime approved it, and once approved by the both houses of parliament, the financial emergency continues indefinitely till it is revoked. Yes. After that, we'll see effects of financial emergency. Yes. So, extension of the executive authority of the union over the financial matters of the states. Yes. Extension of the executive authority of the union over the financial matters of the states. Then, reduction of salaries and allowances of all or any class of persons serving in the state. Reservation of all money bills or other financial bills for the consideration of the president after they are passed by the legislature of the state, and direction from the president for the reduction of salaries and allowances of all or any class of persons serving the union and the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Courts. Yes, these are the effects of financial emergency, where extension of the executive authority of the union over the financial matters of the state. Yes, which means union government will interfere, or who will authorize to take over the financial matters of the state in case of financial emergency. Then reduction of salaries and allowances of all or any class of persons serving in the state. Yes, so government can reduce the salary of its employees. Then reservation of all money bills or other financial bills for the consideration of the president after they are passed by the legislature of the state. For example, any money bill is passed by the state legislature, then this financial bill will keep further, or which will reserve for the consideration of the president. Yes, then directions from the president for the reduction of salaries and allowances of any class of the persons serving in the union, which means central government employees, union government employees, and also judges of the Supreme Court and High Courts. So during this financial emergency, president can go further, or he can reduce the salaries of government employees along with Supreme Court and High Court judges as well. Now we'll see the criticism of emergency provisions. Yes, so we have studied three types of emergencies: national emergency, then state emergency, and financial emergency. So some of the members of the Constituent Assembly criticize the incorporation of emergency provisions in the Constitution on the few grounds. Yes, like the federal character of the Constitution will be destroyed and the union will become all powerful. Yes, then yes, first criticism is that the federal character of the Constitution will be destroyed and the union will become all powerful in the emergency. Second, the powers of the state, both the union and the units, will be entirely be concentrated in the hands of the union executive. Third, the president will become a dictator. Yes, these are the criticism for the emergency provisions. Next, the financial autonomy of the state will be nullified. Next, fundamental rights will become meaningless, and as a result, the democratic foundations of the Constitution will be destroyed. Yes, so these are the criticism of the emergency provisions. Yes, these are the criticism of the emergencies. Now we'll see the articles related to emergency provisions at a glance. So where Article 352, yes, Article 352 deals with the proclamation of emergency. Article 353 describes as effect of proclamation of emergency. Then Article 354 describes as application of provisions relating to distribution of revenues while a proclamation of emergency is in operation. After that, Article 355 describes as duty of the Union to protect states against external aggression and internal disturbance. Next, Article 356 describes as provisions in case of failure of constitutional machinery in states. Article 357 described as exercise of legislative powers under proclamation issued under Article 356. Article 358 describes as suspension of provisions of Article 19 during emergencies. Article 359 suspension of the enforcement of the rights conferred by Part 3 during emergencies. Article 359A repealed by the government. Then Article 360 deals with the provisions as to financial emergency. Yes, so these are the articles at a glance related with the emergency. So friends, we have completed emergency provisions mentioned in our constitution. So in the next lecture, we'll start new topic of Indian polity. So before that, do not forget to enroll yourself for Unacademy Combat, where you can win amazing prizes. So this combat is scheduled on 20th February in the morning 11 o'clock. That is on upcoming Sunday. Yes, you can win amazing prizes in this combat. So it's all about regarding emergency provisions, which we have discussed in today's lecture. Now, we'll see you in the next lecture. Till the time, you can keep revising or studying what we have studied. Do not forget to join our Telegram group for daily updates, and you can use referral code RBI Live for subscriptions to get 10% discount. And also like, share and subscribe our videos of Unacademy. So keep studying, keep learning. All the best.